Hey YouTube, Johnny Green 1990 here to do my review of She-Hulk Season 1 season finale. I loved the last episode. I will say it was very well written. I had a nice, decent plot. Everything kind of flowed together. This one I really felt I dropped the ball, especially for a season finale. I liked the build-up. So I like when she got arrested, how Nikki, Pug, and the other friend came in and essentially talking about how she has to look at her options. She wants to go after intelligentsia right off the bat. And they're like, no, you have to look at your options first. And so it's like, what? And they're like, we're offering you a plea deal, but you got to take the bracelet. No more She-Hulk. And I was like, I'm okay with that. And especially I liked how the episode started, kind of having the throwback to the original uh, Hulk series with we're talking in the 80s, the original actor. I like the way they set that up, kind of gloom and doom. She had this going on, then all of a sudden, she gets angry. They had a more of a monstrous version of her portrayed. I thought that was very nice. And then even kind of halfway through, they tried to do an area again. So then I liked how they transitioned from the courtroom to immediately how people were against her because you're a monster now, and then she's cleaning up her house, moving with her parents, and she's setting up this plan to try to go find who's responsible for intelligentsia. And well, she then decides to go have a break with Emil Blonsky. She's calling him, not available. It's like, fine, I'll go to his house. She's always said him welcome. And so while she's doing this, Nikki decides to essentially use the video that embarrassing video of Jen, She-Hulk, and send it to intelligentsia, but it's Bro. So then she gets Pug to go in her place, who is reluctant, and because he doesn't want to portray it. I liked that. I liked Pug as a character. I thought as one of the few male characters in the show, along with Wong, Daredevil. He wasn't complete chauvinistic as well as Bruce was either. And so I liked having a male, non-superpowered character who was on Jen's side. I thought that was awesome. I like how he goes in and finds out the intelligentsia essentially is Josh. And he's talking to Nikki this whole time. He's like, I don't want to say it. She's like, we'll say this, we'll say this. As soon as he starts talking, what she's saying, they're like, oh, hey, dude. And Josh is like, Pug, of course it'd be you. You work with her. They start bashing She-Hulk. Turns out it's actually on Emil's yard or his lodge, his property. And so this whole thing is going on. Jen goes to essentially Emil's place, talking to one of the guys. Forgive me, I can't remember. I think it might have been the Matador guy. I don't think it was. And so she's talking to him. It's like, where's it? Oh, I really need to have Emil because, you wouldn't understand my whole thing. It's like some of these other guys I think would, based on the fact that they're there. Some of the other guys have superiors or villain, but like no. And so then she ends up going down to the lodge where Emil is actually speaking as the Abomination. I have to say right off the bat with this, they had some other plot points like the Wrecking Crew. I was really hoping to bring together. I thought, spoiler, if you haven't seen, go see the episode. Josh being the head of intelligence, he was fine. I thought maybe, or sorry, not just Todd. Josh was the guy who slept with She-Hulk. I thought Todd being her was okay, but I was hoping for maybe more because he kind of seemed like a guy who was just doing it because he was mad and he wanted to sleep with her and she wouldn't sleep with him. That's the feel I got from him. Guy with money, likes to brag at the girls. This was a girl essentially that wasn't digging him, so he got mad. That's what it felt like. And so I didn't hate everything up to this point. Jen opens the door, realizes Emil's there, Pug, Nikki, Todd. She's like, was everyone there? And then Titania shows up, Bruce shows up. I wasn't against this, and then and Todd injects him with the Hulk serum, transform himself to essentially the version of Hulk. Yes, it was very stereotypical, but I was fine with it because you are still wrapping up the plot points. Here's where I thought it derailed and I didn't like. She went fourth wall busted open and went to essentially the studio to find Kevin Feige and ended up being a robot. It was like, some of it I was fine with. Her talking to the audience, back and forth, fine. But this, even if it was a very basic stereotypical, I think they could have done better, or they should have just kept the stereotypical thing going. Because I think trying to wrap it up with, she goes, beats a few goons, finds Kevin, not Feige, the robot, talks about all the different bad plot points. Say, hey, can you fix this? Can you fix it? Yeah, fine. And then she goes, no Hulk, so no Bruce, no evil Hulk Todd, as I call it. And then police show up. She deals with him legally. He gets arrested, defamation. All of a sudden, bam, she can go back to being She-Hulk. She's not arrested anymore. Daredevil's there, which doesn't make sense because he said he was going back to New York. He didn't really have a reason to stay. Bruce shows up with Sakaar, that big old family dinner. His son. I like that. In her whole little monologue to Kevin, she's like, well, I don't want to hear all about what Bruce is doing. Let's save that for another movie. I'm like, no. I think the fourth wall stuff, it could have been a better way to end it. For a season finale, I was really hoping for it. I thought last episode was really good. Wasn't a lot of cameo dorkiness. There were some cameos there, but it was solid. No campy. Boom, boom, boom. This was leading up to with some of that. And it was fine. So to me, it was right when they essentially, everyone meets the lodge, and then she goes fourth wall and meets with Kevin, the robot, at Disney. That's where I was like, no. So if you separate that and even get the cheesy everything happening, I would give it like a 6.5, maybe a 6. No higher than a 6.5 for me. If you got rid of the middle, or if you kept the middle and everything, for me it drops to like a 4. I hated going to that rather than just having everything kind of magically, Emil goes back to prison. No character development with that. No explanation of the wrecking crew. That was a big plot point I was hoping to explain. No explanation of the other villains, just or kind of in the middle guys just hanging out in Emil's house. What's going on with them? I was hoping that might tie in season finale. Bruce literally popping up out of nowhere saying, hey, let's play his car. This is my son. What? It felt like sloppy writing. I'm not a writer. I don't work for Disney. This is my opinion. But as a fan, as a Hulk fan, as a She-Hulk fan, I was hoping for more. I would like to see more in season 2. We know She-Hulk is going to be in more stuff in even movies. And so let's wrap. I'd like them to fix some of that. I mean, even with the campy dorkiness, I thought everything was okay. Not amazing, but okay, acceptable until this last episode. We were just like derailed. It's like, oh, happy ending. We got Daredevil. I love Daredevil. But just to have him there as the side guy she's banging, or her boyfriend, future, they could have done better. And then if they were going to have him show up, the last episode, I think they should say, yeah, instead of him going to New York, hey, I'll stick around for maybe a few days, see how things are going. And then lead to him being there when everything hits the fan. And he could even help out with the legal action. I thought that would have been a nice way to do it. I will say at the end, I did like that Emil gets broken out of prison, goes to Camouflage with Wong, who apparently now is a fugitive too-ish, because he's breaking Emil out. I like the actor who plays Wong, like the character, so I was fine with his interaction with the season. Daredevil, I thought, loved that. Like many of the fans, I know there's some fans who were wondering what happened to his tailor. I didn't mind the new tailor, the guy who's designing suits, but I would like to know what happened to the other character, the big guy who essentially was ended up working for Kingpin originally and then ended up working for helping Daredevil. I'd like to know what happened to him. Or even a quick side note, and it's not just what happened, how did Daredevil and the tailor guy from She-Hulk get together? Like, how did they meet? How did he end up doing his suits for him? How much he's charging him? Was it a free deal? What? For me, biggest concerns with this were this episode, not the season, episode. Fourth wall breaking. Kevin the robot. Sweet little bow and everything. Daredevil just sticking around. Bruce showing up with nowhere with Sakaar. She-Hulk having no legal actions to the fact she took off her bracelet. Those are the big six. There might be more, but those are the big six for me. I might do a overall season review, but if I don't, I'll just do a quick few things I mentioned. CGI I think has gotten better. I still have some concerns for it, for She-Hulk. I didn't like the Madison character. I know some people did when she showed up with Juan. I liked certain aspects of that fake magician episode. I know I'm jumping around. Didn't like Madison because the memes. Oh my god, the memes that kind of that. No, that's just me. I was okay with the fourth wall in certain instances. I know it can't really be picky, so either like it or didn't like it. I didn't like it, but it was okay. That's my honest opinion. I liked the fact that She-Hulk was naturally stronger than Bruce, smarter, she didn't have a rage. That to me was true to the comics. Titania, I liked her initial introduction. I didn't like the last two where she showed up at the party, or so the wedding, Jenna knew she was mad at her. And then she showed up at the end, just kind of show up. I did like how there was a major difference between Jen and She-Hulk. So Jen wasn't getting the guys, but She-Hulk was. In comics, She-Hulk sleeps around a lot, so I thought that was true to the comics. So it's hard to rate it based on just this one season. For me, it's like a 7.5. It's not amazing. Definitely better than I expected. I did like Pug, Nikki, the African American lawyer. I liked Jen's interactions between going back and forth between She-Hulk and me and Jen. I thought those were solid. I liked what little interaction we had with Hulk, aside from the last episode where he kind of just shows up. I love seeing Daredevil, his interaction, especially with Jen and Cora. I thought were perfect, spot on, loved it. I liked anytime Wong showed up. And Mio, I didn't like him kind of as this hippie, kind of chill. I got it for story plot, and then so he's not going to really be a big bad, just chill. I liked his design that Marvel did from the comics. I thought they fixed that because the original one was 20 some years ago. It was okay back then. Now, updated everything, so I like that. I liked the introduction of the Wrecking Crew. I thought that was cool. I mean, they had magical Asgardian weapons. I thought that made sense. I think because they didn't have mutants, you had a lot of Asgardian stuff, which I didn't particularly like, but I understood the point of it. So that's why this is getting a 7.5, because to me there's a lot of stuff I did like, but stuff I didn't like. I said on and off some of the fourth wall breaking. Some of the interactions between Jen and the other male characters were kind of bashing her, only treating her as the female lawyer, and then even her warrior was all these different other lawyers. It wasn't one high lawyer, just female lawyers. Didn't like the male protagonists back and forth. These guys are jerks, not recognizing females. I understand why they did it. Didn't like that. Said didn't like Madison. Those were the big things at the moment. If I think anything else, I might do a video to talk about. Not is it. So if you notice anything else I didn't, please leave a comment. Let me know. This has been Jolly Green 1990s review of She-Hulk Season 1 finale. Please subscribe. If you didn't like it, video, leave a dislike and a comment. Jolly Green 1990 saying out. Bye, YouTube.